What's up, y'all? This Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. How non-select men get sex without spending money. Peep the game I'm going to give you. And for those who like to just simply detract, just listen, okay? Seriously, damn. Listen up well. I'm giving you some real game out here. Cause look, let me say something real quick. I'm out here, yo. I'm out here. I'm still out here. I've been out here since I was a child. Okay? I've been out here. I see who getting what, all right? And I know how they getting it. Because I actually know people. I ain't no like porch kid or somebody just staying in the motherfucking house. Do I look like it? Do I look like it? Okay then. Now check it out, right? Check it out. There are four general ways. I mean, there can be multiple ways, but there's four general ways. And I'm going to break that shit down for you. The first way is they simply grow on a woman. Yeah, women decide in that first 3 seconds in general. In general, they decide 3 seconds or less whether or not a man could get it or not. Okay, that's cool. That's when you're in the streets or someplace where they just get one look at you. All right, that's legitimate. But what happens is if you're in a situation where you can get to know the woman and you get real cool with her, you can grow on a woman. Even if you non-select, okay, you ain't that like money man, with all that money, or you not that dude who got that raw sex appeal. But if you, as long as you decent, or hell, sometimes not even decent, as long as you decent, and let's just be real with it, unless you got some, some type of genetic thing going on with your face, you're going to be decent. As long as you decent and a decent body build, or at least a body build close to what she'd like, you got a shot. Now, the thing is, yeah, her first look, she wasn't feeling. But what if she meets you on a job? That's a good social circle. She see you someplace where she see you all the time. It could be at a gym. Now, she ain't feeling you at first, but then, you know what? You start talking with her. You start laughing with her. You play it cool. And it's important you ain't trying to really like push up on her, at least blatantly. Maybe some mild stuff and everything. And she might be like, oh, no. But if you keep her laughing, she's still thinking, right? She getting to know you. She's starting to feel something, especially if you can touch her emotions. See, in general, women choose a man in two different ways. Now, that prime way is their womb. We can't get past that. That's some primal shit. But if you can deal with her emotions, that can actually affect her womb. Now, that takes some work. That takes some work, though. So, but, pimps and preachers know how to do it. Politicians, too, know how to, like, work those emotions. You get her comfortable. You get her talking and everything. Because if you talk with a lot of women, so remember, I'm out here, man. I'm out here. Talk with tons of women and everything. And damn, that one with that child, the child's father loved getting her, making her. Damn, good lord, girl. Anyway, if you talk with them, you get them laughing and everything. Boom. Because like I said, I've talked with plenty of women. There's plenty of times they get with some guy, and you looking at the guy, it's like, hold up, you didn't say that was your type. He said he just grew on me, or he's sexy in his own way, or something like that. They'll say that, and that depends on what's going on in their lives or something. That depends on what's going on in their lives, like their husbands, or might not be giving them attention, or boyfriends being a little trifling, or nobody's giving them any attention. Nobody's like telling them they look good and all of that. Because I'm going to tell you, a big weakness with women is they vain. If you know how to work that vanity, you got a shot. That's it, seriously. If you know how to work it right. So you get some guys who are normally non-select, they know how to work it right. They know how to talk to, they be friendly, like just be cool with them and everything. All right, all of a sudden the woman started thinking about it. She might talk to her friend. She said, you ain't what I usually mess with, but he's doing this. He's fun, because seriously, because that's the thing with a woman. Their emotions, their emotions. If you can't get them on that first one, that primal thing, okay, you got to work those emotions. The thing is, it takes some practice and everything. But you get some non-select guys, they still players. Now, they ain't like the select players where it's thrown at them, but they got to do some work, but they still do it. So, and then you get some guys, they ain't even on no player shit. The women just get to know them and all of a sudden be like, damn, you know what? He ain't that bad. It happens a lot. If you talk to some women, see, here's a problem with a lot of guys out here. A lot of guys don't have real conversations with women or really know what the fuck going on out here. Seriously, like real conversation. Ain't no superficial shit. Some shit where a woman telling you straight up that she done sucked 13 dicks in a row or some shit, or was just had a train ran on it and it was her idea. Nah, if you ain't having those type of conversations, but just that level, they'll tell you some shit. So that's one. Grow on them and stuff. The second one, there's a reality out here, yo. Even in the video I did yesterday, right? Even in the video I did yesterday, you get some guys, well, these 20%ers, they get multiple women and stuff. Okay, let me explain. First of all, here's the problem with a lot of guys. If y'all ain't in that 20%, which I think is the 20% select man, alpha male, you don't know what the fuck they're getting. You on the outside looking in. If you actually talk to these men, a lot of these men, they might, they get attention from women, but shit, they limit what they deal with to, you limit what you deal with to like the attractive women, first of all. Cause shit, if you got it like that, what the fuck you gonna fuck with some like ugly woman for? Like, I'm gonna tell you what, that's the stupidest thing. If you a dude, you get women like that, you're gonna get the finest ones. You ain't gonna fuck with you. What the fuck? If you got multiple women throwing it at you, and all these women are like say they in the 8 to 10 range, which depending on the environment ain't impossible. What the fuck you gonna fuck with a 4 for? Once again, there's some people thinking that shit because you on the outside looking in. Or you paying attention to that 4 a little bit hard. Like, some people need to get the fuck out of their house and go out here and actually interact with some people. And listen to some people who know better. Use some common sense on that. Like, let me just say something about that real quick. If you a guy and you getting all these women, you gonna pick that 5 over that 8 or 9, especially if all you want is some pussy? Well, if these guys getting pussy like that, they only messing with those women. So when you talk about select men, they're going to get those 7 to 10s. Now, you get the 6 and below who still want the guys, but wanting and getting are 2 different things. Most of y'all want a dime. How many of y'all going to get one? Use some common sense with that. Seriously. So here's the issue. So you got this, the men are select, but they only going to mess with certain women, even multiple. In fact, even with that select men, all of them ain't players like that. What if that select man is a minister or something? You know what? That's a bad example. What if he's like really into his religion or something? He ain't messing with a bunch of women. He might mess with that wife, maybe have a mistress. Okay, that's 2 right there. There ain't gonna be no 7 or anything. And plus, here's a reality. If you're a man and you working on feeding yourself and all this stuff, you ain't messing with that many women, because women take up time. You might get maybe 1 or 2. I say, if they deal with multiple women, got the main one, main side piece, and maybe one you fuck every now and then. Even if you got a rotation, those women probably fucking somebody else anyway. That's how it works in the real world. So whatever the case, since there's only so many select men, and they only going to deal with only maybe the most attractive women as a whole. And please don't put an example of some like supposedly select man messing with some less than woman. All right, seriously, use some common sense out here. We're talking about the norm. All right, seriously. Don't use the exception to try to overturn something. Use some fucking common sense, and I mean that. I'm getting tired of like some motherfuckers ain't thinking and shit. I'm getting tired of that shit. But look, all right, so you only got the select men. They only dealing with certain women. What they do with the rest? Because let's be real out here. Let's keep it a buck. Most of these women, if a woman's even a 7, because attractive women on that level are so few, the 7 might look like a dime to someone. So that means the majority of women out here in the 4 to 6 range. And a truly select man ain't messing with, because what I say, that dude with raw sex appeal, if he can get that dime or something, that's what he gonna fuck with. In fact, I've known some select men, they'll say, you know what, I dropped her, she put on a little bit of weight. Or this woman was interested, but I was like, damn. And they tell the woman to their face they overweight or something. Nah. You get a whole bunch of women, like, they just not gonna get them, because that's one thing else about the select, they reject women on a regular basis. All right, so they not getting with them. They still want some dick. The women still want that hot beef injection. Because a lot of guys forget, these women out here, these women been horny for a man's D since they hit puberty. In fact, shout out one of my supporters out in California. He know who he is. Assalamu alaikum, brother. He was telling, he hit me with that. He was like, yeah, that's how these elders be saying these women mature easy. They already thinking about sex. So I don't care. Yeah, they might want the sex with the select man, but on a pragmatic thing, they got to deal with what they can get. So that's why you get so many women. They still gonna have sex with that non-select man if that's what they can get. Remember, I was doing that reviews on that show Insecure, and I was talking about TSA Bay. Now, dude wasn't select. Yet he had one or two baby mamas. He was still tapping the shit out of Issa. She wasn't serious about him. And that's how it usually happen, you know? That's how it usually happen. But also, women, they have no choice. If they want children, they want to get married, they want companionship, they want some steady D, oh, well, they're going to have to find something good looking or desirable about that normally non-select man. And plus, what did I say the other day? And Cousin Tito talks about this even more. You got a lot of guys who are pre-select. And there's a lot of guys who just in that, they kind of in that middle range. I don't talk about that as much. They just need a few twerks to get there. So women will still deal with them. Women will get realistic right away. Because they pragmatic on, even though they emotional on their deep level, they cold-blooded, they pragmatic. They realize, hey, you know, I need this husband. I need somebody, need that steady dick. And honestly, about non-select, even though the women consider the select men sexier, that don't necessarily mean they're better in bed. So sometimes these women, they'll run into that. They'll give that non-select dude a chance, and he turned them out. I never forget what this woman said. Because I used to call women's boyfriends or whoever they were messing with Elmo. That was my joke. I said, yeah, how Elmo doing? Right? Some women who know me, they say, yeah, I remember you calling my man Elmo. I remember this one woman, she let this, she gave this one dude Elmo some. And this dude didn't have much going on. This dude was in his 40s, still lived at home with his mama. Right? So he ain't had much going on, but she still gave him some. She said, yeah, Elmo got skills. So that happens. So, you know, they can still get in there. And they got to. They don't have any choice because, like I said, truly select men be rejecting women all the time. That's part of their game. Mr. Goodbars, that's part of their thing. They reject the women. So you got that. You got that, right? So, you know, the women, they don't have any choice but to deal with a certain type of man. They don't have any choice. And plus, also, too, proximity, man. Because if you look at the two types, unless you live in a city, right? Unless you live in a certain city, you know, some women might not even run into them. How often, unless they in the right city, maybe some East Coast cities, maybe in some place, LA, maybe LA, San Diego. I don't know about San Fran, never been there. But unless they're in certain cities, it's quite possible, depending on the city a woman's in, she might not run into a select man. Or what's generally considered select. Especially if you want to just use those physical criteria. She might not run into them. You know, Cousin Tito always said that about ASPs. Women can go for years without actually running into one. So they got to deal with what's right there. And especially, you know, like I said, if you're in a major city, even then is where you hanging out at. But let's be real, everybody ain't in major cities. You get a lot of, if they in like maybe a suburb or a rural area, they might not run into a select dude. And like I said, you got the raw sex appeal ones, you got the money ones, the money men, you know, the ones who got that, you know, they got some money, status, and power, and some degree of looks, where they gonna hang out at? They ain't hanging out at the neighborhood club. And let's put that class thing in there real quick. They ain't, shout out BGS for talking about the octanes. You know, you get those masters of the universe, they ain't hanging out in some hood club or something like that. And you gonna tell me they got these motherfuckers in some of these hood clubs or these uh trailer park type clubs? You saying they look like Chad and Tyrone? Let's just be honest. Or especially when you talked about these dudes, people call Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray ain't walking no modeling thing, and he definitely don't really have money. Cause believe it or not, even dudes on some illicit shit, they ain't making money like that. You get very few people who actually make money from drug dealing, even if you own some illicit shit. So you got that, right? But the bottom line is women have no choice but to deal with a non-select man. They have no choice. Because the women, they still want some dick in them. So they got to deal with it. It's just like some of these guys, they say they want a dime, but you got to mess with that overweight woman. You still got to, and they got to. Understand that. So that's two right there, right? Let me give you the other one. Easy girls. And when I say easy, I don't necessarily mean easy sexually. There's a significant amount of women out here, they not caught up into like, yeah, this guy got to be 6'2", and, handsome or sexy or even have like balling out control. If you approach them with some sense, they're going to respond. That's it. Seriously. As long as you approach them politely, shit, sometimes not even politely. As long as you make the move on them, they're going to be receptive. Easy girls. Easy girls. Because those easy ones, and when I say easy, it's like, it don't take much, as long as you just have a conversation with them and, just approach. As long as you halfway decent, seriously, as long as you halfway decent, you get a lot of women, they not as picky, because even that select, non-select thing, or if you want to use 80-20 for people who still want to follow that, every single woman, they got a different thing. You got some women, they only checking out 10% of the men, and then some 20, but then you got some other women, they'll check out 50. You got some other women, shoot, 90% of the men who approach them say something, they'll respond. They just easy. And see, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of smart non-select men, they know like a lot of women ain't fucking with them. They know it. They know most women ain't feeling them. If they try to talk to them, they will purposely look for the easy ones. They will purposely look for the easy ones. And the easy ones, they can range, a lot of them might be average looking, some are ugly. A few can actually be very attractive. But there's usually something, because I've known the women personally. I was like, in fact, I'm surprised nobody talks about that. Seriously, you got a lot of women out here who are just receptive like that. They just receptive to whatever man approaches them. As long as he don't blow it, as long as he go up and say, hey, how you doing? And then depending on how good she look, like say she more average looking or something, like average, like legitimately average, but he go up and say, hey, you kind of pretty. Oh, shoot, I like that. You looking good. She ain't heard that before. Strokes her ego. That's another, I told you. A woman's vanity, they'll get you interested. Malcolm X said that. Malcolm X said that in the autobiography of Malcolm X. He said, you can go up to a woman, ain't smiling at you, say, hey, you're the most beautiful woman I've seen. Right? He said that. And she might not say anything the first day. He said, do it again the second day. Might not say anything the second day. The third day when she see you coming, she's smiling. Stroke that vanity. If you play that vanity right, which, now, the thing is with the easy girl, they receptive to whatever. They receptive, especially to that vanity stroke. They receptive. They easy. They ain't gonna put you through too much. They ain't asking for too much. All they want is some like attention. You give them some real attention or something, and as long as you don't act stupid. That's why, dude. Anybody who's lived in a real environment, either poor or working class, has seen this shit. Not as much in the more upper classes, but you've seen this shit. How often have you seen some woman, she with some dude, she's like, why she with him? He stroked that ego. Hell, that's why somebody in my comments yesterday said about these homeless people be stroking. Or I know that for sure. You know, you be some of these homeless motherfuckers be getting it. Let's just say there's a woman in my area. Homeless dudes be coming out of her place all the time. That's how deep that shit is. But stroking that ego, she easy. You got some easy women out there. They're just receptive. Now, there's one other level of woman that a non-select guy can get without spending money on sex. Straight up freaks. Straight up freaks. You got some women out. Man, you got a ton of women, or a significant amount. They just want to fuck. They don't give a fuck where it's coming from. As long as your shit can stay hard, they don't give a fuck. They fuck whatever. It don't take much. Known them too. Seriously, they freaks to the point you don't have to pay shit. All you have to do is show the fuck up. You got some women like that. They just straight freaks. And I'm surprised guys don't talk about it. And it's not. And the thing is, it's not always obvious. They don't always make it obvious. A whole lot of them, they look like plain Janes or nerdy girls or something like that. But it don't take much. Hell, if you, especially in some neighborhoods, like in Baltimore, they'll call them dummies. You know, they just reset. It don't take much. It's like you get some places, like I remember when I was young. You know, you had some women, they want that freak shit. Other guys will say, look, all you have to do is rub her. She'll let you do it. You got some women, seriously, you got some women, their defenses are like zero. It don't take much. Now, how they got to that point, that's complicated. That's complicated. And I don't talk about it as much because some of those women, they've been a victim of abuse or something. Seriously. That's why I don't like put it out there like that. But you get some guys who gonna roll like that. You get some guys, they can spot the freak. If you put them, you get some men, and like pimps. You put a pimp in a room with some women, they will tell you every woman in there who they could put out on the stroll. They can tell you every woman. They can look at her and they say, yeah, her. Would you get with some non-select guys? Some, not all, of course, but you get some. You just put them anyway, and they could tell you the freak in a woman. I knew a dude, he was generally non-select, but he could take a look at a woman's picture and say, yeah, she a freak. And I ain't gonna get the exact circumstances I had those pictures, but she was like, damn, how'd you know? How'd you know? It was like, you get some guys that can spot a freak. Now, I'm kind of, well, I could, but nah, people be stealing shit. There's some shit I just keep for myself in my real inner circle. But if you learn how to spot a freak, shit. And that's what these guys be doing. And stuff. Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. I thought that was somebody I ain't seen in a long time. Seriously. So, I mean, seriously, all the stuff I talked about, what I said, just growing on a woman. That happens, man. I've talked to a lot of women. They'll say they weren't feeling the guy at first, but, you know, just got to know him and everything. You know, seriously, some young girls and shit too. Seriously, I know several, like in this area, like I don't show you everything I do, but I know a lot of women under the age of 30 in their 20s and shit. And they be telling me all this shit. And they always saying the same thing. We didn't, you know, they weren't feeling the dude at first, but, you know, he stayed on them, got to know him, everything. And shit, all of a sudden, they boning like crazy. Seriously. You know? A lot of women, they ain't going, I mean, like it or not, they don't have access to a select man. Yeah, they can want one. They can like his pics on IG or something. They can fantasize about him all they want. But what they going to do? How they going to meet him? You know? They ain't going to get in that VIP section at the club or even in the club sometime with like the dudes with money. And the dudes who got those looks and stuff, shit, please. Those looks, that sex appeal body and shit, they only gonna be certain places themselves. Shit, they want to be around all the fine women. You get in those clubs, you got a long line. They only gonna let you in if you look good. You know? Shit. You know, you got some women, they just super receptive. Now, they ain't necessarily freaks, but they right there, close. And then the freaks. You got some women, they just want to fuck. As long as your ass is, as long as you can keep a stiff one and that kind of cool about it, you can get some. Seriously. Now, I know some people going to try to challenge it, but I will say this. I can always tell people ain't coming out here. Seriously, man. I mean, shit. You want to know, like, where I've been? Anacostia, North Michigan Park, Riggs, Oxon Hill, Temple Hills. When I was in school in Philly, West Philly, Overbrook area. That's where I was living. And then I know motherfuckers, everything from, I've known straight up players, everything from straight up dudes in prison getting women, bringing them commissary, to some motherfuckers who like are professionals. And after a while, and then knowing the women and how they really roll. Shoot, yeah, please, I'm trying to tell you, just understand that. And see, one thing about a non-select guy too, they understand they ain't on the top thing, but they also understand these still women know something. They know how to play that shit. They know how to play that shit. And like I said, more they on that edge anyway. They on that edge any damn way. But that's it. That's the game. See, the game is really, don't worry, no matter what you are, you got to know your target. These dudes know how to target. That's all too. That's all too. Now, all these people thinking they got to spend money or something, well, dude, I'll go into a lie detector, man. I ain't have to spend money for no damn pussy in my life. Now, I paid for some women like a dinner, date, whatever, after I fucked them. So, and I know there's other dudes like that. And like I said, I go into a lie detector with that. I will go into a lie detector. If you doubt that shit, I'll go in a court of law and tell you that shit. And I know I ain't that unique. So it's plenty of shit. Especially you dealing with freaks. Hell, all you need to do is look like you got a good print. Seriously. Or you down, or you look like you might know what you're doing. So I want to just say that, man, because a lot of people up here be talking, and I'm like, dude, you go outside. And I'm gonna say that, man, because let's put it like this: there's a lot of shit that's happening in the real world. Because y'all don't know how many people I know, and I know a dude now, his life going downhill, and he just wants some pussy. He's an older incel, and I'm like, damn, that's some fucked up shit. So you seeing this shit up close. So it's like, damn. Some motherfuckers out here going crazy. You trying to help them and shit. But I'm gonna just tell you now, I am helping some people. I'm telling you the real deal out here, okay? And I ain't on no theory or some dumb shit like that. I'm trying to help y'all motherfuckers. Because at some point it might get to, I'm like, man, all right, man. And some dudes have told me, some dudes who are more selected, say, man, remember. Yeah, but I say, nah, that shit will affect us at some point. So let me take care of it. So anyway, that's all I got for today, yo. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.